continue collecting, and remember, stay casual. Welcome back, casual collectors. I'm Steel Wolf,
and Spider Kid.
and today we're bringing you a review of the Marvel Legends retro card Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Alright, so we picked him up on Amazon for the price of $24.99. Now he is currently still available. He is also available on Big Bad Toy Store for the price of $25.99. Also at Walmart for the price of $39.99, but please note it is from a third-party seller. He is currently not available on GameStop, Best Buy, or Target. But you can also find this guy probably on your local retailer. Alright, and for box details now, if you look at the background of this retro card, we see a nice kind of like blue, purple, and like pink colors on the background, which is pretty cool. We can also see a closer picture of what the character is supposed to look like, which I believe is from his 30th anniversary suit, I believe, and then a close-up of the figure. And if we look at the back, we can see a close-up of the figure and a nice description of the figure itself. Alright, with that said, let's break this guy into our universe.
Alright, and here's Miles out of the package, and not bad. He's definitely got a nice design on him. It's not my cup of tea, but it is different. And one thing that's hella confusing for me, though, is the fact that he's wearing a mask on top of another mask. I mean, it looks like a surgical mask or maybe a bandana, which is kind of odd. If you recall, in the packaging, it looks like he was wearing a different colored mask. As you can see here, it's more like a grayish, possibly even greenish colored mask. And I think I prefer the one on the packaging than the one that they gave us here with the figure, because look, you have like it doesn't look like string. It just looks like a bandana that's wrapped over the bottom part of his head. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the accessories that Miles comes with. All right, here we have all the accessories that come with Miles. And yeah, there's not much, but let's take a closer look at these hands here. So right away, got a nice paint job. There's not much detail to it. Got those nice reds, that deep black, that looks good. These whipping hands, it's pretty nice. And the same goes for the other hand too. So yeah, pretty basic. I really would have wished they would have gave us more accessories. Like, I mean, why don't they include the wall crawling hands anymore? I feel like they used to give us a lot of those, but now they don't really give us much of the wall crawling hands.
Or even better, an actual like web to use.
Yeah, I mean, give us a web accessory. I think honestly that's the dumbest thing that they do, is that they don't give us any web accessories with Spider-Man figures. I think that's so weird. I mean, it's like giving us, a Punisher, but not giving us a gun with them. It's just kind of odd. All right, so let's go ahead and get into a closer look at some of the details. All right away, let's start with the head here, and we can see this nice red paint. I do like the kind of paint that they use, this kind of like glossy paint, and I do like that red. That's a nice color red, almost like a candy apple almost, but crimson maybe, but it looks great with this black. I like that. And I don't mind the symbol. The symbol actually looks pretty unique. I do like it. Looks pretty cool with the red and the black. This sweater, hoodie, turtleneck thing is just weird to me. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this thing. Like, I want to like it, but it's just awkward. I don't know. And if you notice here, it looks like this sweater piece, it is a softer plastic, but it looks like it's almost been molded onto along with the neck, because there is no seam there or no separation, almost as if the neck and then this torso piece are all one and the same. So that's different. I don't think we've ever seen something like that. But regardless, let's continue on with these details. So let's continue back up to the head here. And as I said earlier, it does look like he's wearing an additional mask over his normal mask. And to me, the way that this is painted, it looks kind of like it's a bandana. But it looks like they painted it to actually match the accents on the suit. But if, again, you look at the retro card, it looks like it's a surgical mask or a hospital mask. And I think I kind of prefer the look of the surgical mask instead of this bandana thing. But I don't know, you guys can decide on that one. But it's just still kind of awkward and weird to me. But if you look at the back here, we can see where he ties it off. So that's a nice little detail there. We also can see a bunch of these little wrinkles here on the neck. So that looks pretty cool. More wrinkles here on the front of the neck. And like I said before, as for the chest area, the only real detail we have is this nice spider logo here. And it is basically raised. It's indented, It's raised up, so you can definitely feel it. You can feel the texture on it, so that's pretty neat. And the paint application is pretty nice too, and you can see it's got a little bit of gloss on there, so that's nice. As for any other details, you can see, very subtle, but you can see some of the wrinkles and creases on the actual sweater jacket thing that it has. And then by the waist, we can see the drawstrings there, which are a nice touch though, and I do like the way they pop with that red. Moving back over here to the shoulder and arms area, not much to talk about other than your standard wrinkling and creases on the sweater, which do look nice. The paint applications are nice as well. And here we have the hand, and that's the flipping hand which we just showed you guys, so that came out looking nice. Other than that though, there's not much other detail to speak of, except for this. This came out very nice too. This is a nice big spider logo. And just like the one on the front, it's like a 3D raised effect, so that's pretty cool. You can feel the texture on it. And very nice, clean paint on it, man. You gotta say, these paint lines are pretty good. They did a really good job with this. And I do like that nice shine that it has, so that's pretty neat. Here's the back and bottom of that jacket thing. And we can barely see the Miles butt there, but it is there. And I wonder what's underneath there. Like, I wonder if they continue with the colors or with some other color. Huh. Maybe it's just all black. I don't know. Moving down to the leg area, we have this different type of deco here. And this looks pretty freaking awesome. I do like this right here. We got some nice spider web lines, but they're in red. And that looks cool. I do like that. That's a nice, cool touch. Towards the front here, it's just a nice red color. See on the inside of the legs there. And he also has that cool deco on the other leg as well. So that's a pretty neat touch. I do like that. That's pretty cool. So down to the back of the legs, not much other than what I mentioned. Moving down to the feet area, you can see the ankles there, and these look like some high tops. I don't know what these are. I don't know if these are the Air Jordans and maybe just different. I don't know. But you can see it does have a lot of cool little details on these shoes. I mean, you shoe guys can probably figure out what these would mimic or what these resemble. But I sure as heck don't. I got poor style in shoes anyway. But it's sculpted very nicely. Like I said, it's got a lot of details on it. My only issue with this though is that I feel that all this detail on the shoe kind of goes down the drain because it doesn't really get to shine because it blends in too well with this one solid color. I think if they would have put some different color, maybe some black or some white, it would have made it a lot better and those details would pop.
There's no like shading to it.
Yeah, shading or even different paint to give it a contrast.
Or even a outline.
Yeah, some kind of, yeah, you know what, you're right. If they would have at least done like a black outline on some of these details, that would have looked even better. I mean, if you guys have those very fine tip Sharpies, you can do those outlines yourself on all this and it would come out looking a lot better if you ask me. But yeah, still looks pretty cool though. And here's the bottom of the feet, and we do got some tread on there, so that's pretty neat. And we got our standard peg holes as well. There's the back of the ankles, not too shabby. And yeah, so not much detail, but it's subtle, and some of those touches are pretty nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into some articulation. Alright, so for articulation, let's go ahead and start at the head. And his head can move up. It's not a lot actually, it's not much. Doesn't really look up, but looking down, he can look down quite a bit, which is nice. But for some reason, he doesn't look up very well. Now, let's see, does he have that pile driver motion or that quagmire motion? Let's see. No, not really. He doesn't really have that. But he can turn left, he can turn right, and he can do a complete 360 Exorcist style. So that's pretty standard. Moving on to the arm here, he can do a complete 360 as you can see there, and his arms can move up about that much, which is pretty nice. Now he also has a single jointed elbow, which is pretty disappointing, but it moves into about that much. And unfortunately, he does not have a bicep swivel. Moving down to the actual hands here, they are on a hinge, and they can also swivel, as you can see, and the hinge will go in just like that, and it will come back out just like that. So it's not too bad. Moving down to the chest area here, you can crunch forward about that much, and you can crunch back about that much. And I do feel that maybe it's this jacket thing that's getting in the way of the articulation, so he may be able to bend more. if it wasn't for this sweater jacket thing that he has. So moving down here to the waist area, he can rotate a complete 360, as you can see. He can actually tilt left and right.
So basically is that the figure is actually on a ball joint.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, because he can kind of do this rotating motion on there. So that's not bad. And moving down to the leg area, as you can see right away, you can see that he does have upper thigh cuts. And his legs will kick up forward. It will kick forward about that much, which is not much at all, honestly, especially for a Spider-Man figure. But he will kick back about that much. And let's see how far he can do the splits here. He can do the splits about that much, which is not too shabby at all. Alright, and moving right down to the knee area, he does have double jointed knees, as you can see here. And that's pretty good for a double jointed knee, so that's not bad. Not have a boot cut or a calf swivel, but he can rotate in the ankle area, as you can see. And he also has the ankle pivot. He can kick his foot up about that much, and he can kick it down about that much. And that's going to do it for articulation. Alright, and to measure Miles out here, he stands just a little bit underneath the 6-inch mark. Okay, now for some size comparisons with toy lines, here we have on the left the Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man from the animated show, next to the Miles Morales Spiderman Retro card. And for another toy line comparison, here we have the Mezco Logan next to Miles. For this comparison, we have the Bandai Goku model kit next to Miles. And last but not least, for our toy line comparisons, here we have the amazing Yamaguchi Deadpool next to the retro carded Miles. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the look. It just looks very odd to me. He doesn't resemble the Miles I'm familiar with. And yeah, the Miles I'm familiar with is the classic all black suit, Miles, or even the one from the Into the Spider-Verse, but I'm just not happy with this version of him. I'm sure you guys may be fans, but I can't claim the same. Yeah, not a fan. However, though, for this figure, I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't like the fact that he didn't have butterfly joints. We had single jointed elbows. The fact that the head couldn't really look up at all was kind of disappointing. The lack of accessories was disappointing. I feel that the jacket did kind of get in the way of the ab crunch going forward and backwards. And then I feel that they really missed an opportunity with those shoes, because the sculpt on the shoes look cool. It's just that having that solid red color kind of defeats the purpose of having them sculpted so nicely. I mean, it needed some kind of black accents, maybe some white paint. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like there was a missed opportunity there to actually bring those shoes out to give it a better look. But yeah.
So my final thoughts are that I think overall the figure could be good if only it had the jacket off. Because I'm pretty sure it has some pretty good movement underneath the whole vest thing, but it could have been a more better figure just if only that jacket would have been gone. But it is disappointing though how there's only a single joint on the elbow, but newer figures are starting to have double joints on the elbows, double joints on the knees. It's really disappointing. But the shoes again though, it's cool. I don't know what brand it is, but they should have given more highlights, some blackwash probably. Just try to make it look more better than just have it be just being plain red. But I mean, overall, though, it is a pretty cool design. I'm not a fan of it, but I just think it looks cool.
All right, it's that time again, folks, for our rating. And as always, you can see that rating there on the left. And I'm going to go ahead and have to give this guy a rating of... pass.
Alright, and for my rating, I'm going to give it a rating of...
Great. And that's going to do it for our review on the retro-carded Miles Morales Spider-Man. I'm Steelwolf.
And Spider Kid.
Continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.